Facebook Live is on. Instagram Live, we're on.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here, guys. We are in the beautiful Gortin Glens.
Hopefully I haven't shot.
Yes. So go ahead, Liam.
Episode what? 23? Hey guys, and welcome to episode 23 of the Coaching Mindset Podcast. I'm Liam O'Neill.
And I'm Gary Wallace. And as you can see, well, maybe you can't see behind it, but we're in the Gortin Glens. An area looking more so into where the History Park kind of right around this street.
Yeah.
Where'd you say it's over there?
Down there.
Yeah, so we took a drive up around the scenic route.
Which is just reopened for anyone that lives near here and didn't know that. The scenic route is reopened so you can drive around it. Drive carefully.
Don't drive it all other way. Liam.
I didn't do that.
You did. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, no, we actually came up here today. I suppose we'll talk a bit about it. Me and a few of the guys, Ryan Maven, good shout out, Connor McElhenney and David Tenney, are all going to do the 7 summits. So it's walking 7 mountains around. Yeah, it's walking that first one.
I thought these were running.
Well, we and Maven are going to jog, but we're not going to tell the rest of them yet until they actually see this. But me and Ryan are doing another one in middle of the summer. We're going to run it. It's a marathon.
Mountain marathon?
A mountain marathon.
Mountain
So
marathon.
we're going to do it. But yeah, this one, we're just, again, raising money for charity and a wee day out for us. And we just thought, a bit of a challenge. And if we can do something good for it, then we'll go for it.
So what is that? 7 mountains, run up and down 7 mountains, walk up and down 7 mountains.
In one day.
Yeah.
In one day. So I think it roughly takes about 10 to 12 hours. But as I say, we will try and push ourselves. And
I think the Muckhogs are doing it. Are you going to have a rivalry?
I think, are they doing it?
Start a rivalry now. Muckhogs versus...
It's not about the
versus
winning.
what? Who are you? What he's called?
The Barmy Army, I don't know what we're called. the lads. So yeah, but we're going to do that. So we are a bit of fun. As I say, well, Ryan, hopefully Ryan might be running past us. We hope.
Yeah.
At some stage. Ryan's done a few marathons lately, and we just thought we might just go and challenge ourselves and do it as a bit of a jog and see where we go. So
that's why we're doing the podcast halfway up the scenic route. That's what that we rant was about.
yeah,
Basically, the reason we're here is because we're up. They were doing a photo and then I was called in. So that's why we're a day early as well, which I suppose we should point out. We're a day early because it was nice.
It was
So
nice. It's
we
nice
did it.
weather.
And we talk a lot about being your own boss. So being our own bosses of our podcast, we can video it whenever we want.
We do whatever we want. We do the fuck whatever we want. Yeah.
So what are we talking about today? What did we...
So last week I mentioned a wee bit about we were kind of getting into kids playing sport and effects parents have, and one of the things we came up with was the car journey home.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote about it this week in Ulster Herald.
An article?
I was waiting for it. Yeah.
Check it out, guys. Good article. I don't know if any of you have heard about this article, but in the Ulster Herald,
6 years now.
6 years.
And we always have to do it too. Shout out to Mark McKelvey.
Go on, Mark. On talking about Mark McKelvey, he tried to start a war between me and Ryan Duff Balloon, the Duff Ninja, because technically Ryan got further than me in Ninja Warrior. So according to Mark, Ryan now has bragging rights. So the 3 of us are going to fight to the death. They don't know that yet, but it's going to happen.
Well, you sure Mark didn't do Ninja Warrior?
No, but he wrote it.
All
He
right.
started the rivalry. He was like,
Did he actually write it in the
he
paper?
wrote it in the paper.
Ooh.
Mark was like
shots
that.
fired.
That little girl in the changing rooms, like starting rumours.
My God, I thought you were gonna say calling you a little girl.
No, just because I didn't get as far as the Duff Ninja.
Fair play to Duff.
He did.
Completed the first one, then he got the semi-finals, didn't
Well,
he?
he didn't complete the first one. He got right and far in it, and then fell where everybody was falling. Everybody was falling at the grippy thing. So
Yeah.
he did really well. And
Sorry,
then,
Duff man, I wasn't here. I didn't see it. I didn't catch up. But it looked like I thought he got around the first round. Did he know? No, he didn't. Sorry.
that's how rumours start.
That's a rumor start. But anyway, back to the
I
main point.
wasn't-
He got further than you, yes?
He did get
Okay.
Aye.
No, but
Well, he got through the second round. It's what happened, right? Muckhogs better beat you, so I'm not impressed. So thanks, Mark. Shout out to Mark, and also check out Gary's. I don't know if you know this, but Gary has got this. He writes for the paper because he's
I'm not a
you're a journalist. Like,
By all means. And this is probably good to the fact too that this is probably a big shout out to Mark, who does
Go on, Mark.
do a bit of editing. That I would struggle a lot with my grammar. Put it that way. Like I wouldn't be. Yeah, I'm really not that confident. Really not that confident. Liam knows by me putting up posts. Even if you do notice some of my posts that goes up, if they do, I'm probably it's something that I need to work on, and I have been working on. And get better at it.
Makes you more human though.
Yeah.
More relatable, and like, people can connect to you more.
But like you literally could have says, no, you know what? I just struggle all the time, so I'm not going to write that article. And I've been doing it now for 6 years.
6 years a journalist.
So 6 years journalist, and probably a lot of editing by Mark as well too. But yeah, look, you can always go and do, even if you're weak at it, just keep trying. Get at
Find
it.
people that will help you. Like
Find people to help you. True.
Mark puts in 3 hours a week sorting out the mess. The guy just sends it.
I just said words.
Words, and you say things like feet. It's about feet, Mark.
It's about feet and a ball and roll. So yeah, but anyway, back to this.
Driving home.
The drive home.
The drive home.
I think it's we have a lot of. We were actually talking to a guy, Chris. Big shout out to Chris McDade.
Go on, Chris.
Go on, Chris.
Buy my book, Chris.
Buy
Chris wouldn't buy my book because it was dearer than 99p.
No, that's not true. That's not true. It all messed up. It was Liam's fault. So it was.
So I'm told.
Yeah, but anyway, but people like Chris and all who have kids, and Chris works a lot with children, and I started thinking about this because Josh, now my son's starting to play in little tournaments and going away playing different sports, and just bringing him home after the game, it just brought back to all reading and coming across stuff that it's probably the most precious time for a kid or for a parent to interact and maybe not say anything, because what normally happens is whenever parents come home with kids, they're so emotionally involved. They want to know how their kid did. They want to maybe relive their life through their kids, which is probably the main thing. So they tell them you should have done this or you should have done that, or or I think that Jimmy, you should have been playing in front of him, or your coach made a bad call. And this kid could be sitting in the car and might just went out that day to enjoy with his mates and didn't like the feeling of getting beat, but to come and then listen to that from his parents, very fragile, very low. So that's the whole idea of it, and I wrote it too in the article, just different ways of coming across that. But do you have anything from yours? It doesn't even have to be sport related or
just in general, even school. Like whenever I'm chatting to my nieces around, the first thing I'll say is, what did you learn today in school? And a lot of kids that I chat to and ask that, the first response is nothing. I didn't learn nothing. And a lot of people will leave them with that. They'll go, I didn't learn anything. And you go, alright, fair enough, school's shit, brilliant. But then I question them. I'd be like, so when you went to maths, the teacher just stood there quietly? And they're like, no, she... And then you start to break it in, and I always make myself seem a lot more stupid than I am. Like, I'll ask them questions about, like, when you went to maths, did you know that 2 plus 2 is 5? Like, you already know that before you started, and then they'll correct me, it's 2 plus 2 is 4. And I'm like, how'd you know that? Well, I learned it in school. So you do learn at school. What else did you learn? Did you do this or that? Same as if I'm working with kids with anxieties and things, I'll ask them about, like, everyone knows how much I love superheroes, but I'll ask children, who's your favourite superhero? And they could say Superman, and I'll go, oh, brilliant, what does he do? Or what's his superpowers? Or is he the one that lives in a cave? What's the crack with him? So then they're opening up and explaining something about they're passionate about and that they like. So then whenever, like, the car journey can be anywhere. You have two choices: stick a radio on or some music, and just waste all that time, or you could try to get to know your children, your family, and see where it takes you or where it takes them.
That's good. The first thing, whenever I remember Josh when he was first starting to play different sports, he went to rugby and he loved hurling, he did kickboxing, and I always said to him, look, just the main thing you do is just go and have fun. Just don't worry about anything else. And that's the first thing I always ask him when he gets into the van, whenever I'm collecting him, is just, did you have fun? And now when he is playing, it was just last week they played a tournament up in Greencastle, and it come in and we were just going home, and he was in good form anyway because he played well, his team won, but he was around with all his mates. And I just talked and I just said, look, I loved watching you play. And that was it. That's all I said. It just says I loved being there and watching you play.
Did you with their...
No, there's no tear in my eye, but it's true. It's like it is true. Let's be honest. It's not all like American. Hey, yes, awesome! It's game day. All right, it's a Saturday. You probably think you might have other things to do, but if you are making the effort to go up there, go and enjoy it. Like they talk about being present and being whatever. If you go up as a parent and watch your child playing and go, I could be at home now instead of watching this crap, or I could be doing this, or I could be here. Go up and go, no, you know what? I'm going to give this time to my child because this could be the most important thing. They may never say that they'll probably even turn around and go, oh, I don't really want you watching me.
You're embarrassing me.
But secretly, they're always looking over your shoulder to see, did you see that? Did you see what I did there? So they are always looking your approval. Like especially at a younger age, we have to get their teenagers, but they think you're the superhero. You know? Yeah, I know. We all are superheroes. But that's the big one. So that would be the first, is just literally when they come into the car, just say, I loved watching you play, or I love the way you chased that ball down. Like, and you maybe you weren't going to get it, but you never give up. And they might be wee traits that they hold dear to themselves. Because there was a few surveys done, and I was reading up about it, that kids were asked why they play sports, why they do it.
Daddy makes me.
No, but why they actually do it. And at a younger age, winning was one thing, but it was the feeling of the win after. But the biggest thing was socialising with friends and learning. And then obviously then too, even someone says about getting fitter as well. And it's surprisingly, you think all they do is they want to win. Some kids couldn't even care less. But if you turn around and you say winning is all important, you might not even say that out loud, but by going, oh, you only got beat today because you did this or you did that, that's just portraying that it doesn't matter what you learned, you should have won.
Yeah.
You know?
Even you're saying there that, like, give the time to your child and be there for them in the sport or whatever. You could take it another way, that even if you hate the sport and you don't particularly like hanging out with your kid, you're there anyway, so loads of kids aren't all as cool as you make out to be. But loads of people don't, and they do have busy lives, and they do think, I could be at home doing what needs to be done, but realising that you aren't at home and you can't do what you think needs to be done, then that takes away the pressure of, like, there's no point worrying about it because you can't actually deal with it. So it's about worrying about something that you have no control over. So you're there for the hour or two or however long the whole procedure takes, the football or whatever it is. Why not just tell yourself, like, I'm not going to get anything else done anyway, so I may as well enjoy this and then I'll work. And that can work vice versa as well. Like, if you have a busy life and you're trying to get stuff done when you come home from work and the kids are running about wrecking your head and everything, you're trying to interact with the whole lot of it.
Is our man there?
Right. If you're trying to interact with all of it, you would be better off taking 2 hours to work with your kids and telling them, right from 7 to 9 is family time and we're going to deal with this, and then once 9 o'clock comes, I have to go back and do my work. So then you're creating a schedule, and you're taken away from, instead of trying to do everything at once and panicking and then not enjoying the time with your family, not getting any productive work done anyway, and then being annoyed at yourself that you didn't achieve any of this. Once you make a structure of it, then it makes it much easier. So when you're with the kid at the sport, whatever it is, you have to be there. So why not just, like, submit it? Is that a bad way of putting it?
No, yeah, maybe. But no, you're totally right. That I would find it then too, with especially in the weekends when Josh is down. It's just that I would have set that time aside. You know, so my situation is, for people that may not know, that Josh doesn't live with me during the week, but it comes down at the weekends.
You party all week.
Just party all week, and then at the weekends I have. But even at that, like, I'd be very busy at the weekend during the week, and I mentioned it before, it's something that I need to do is schedule in more time for me as well, because I always feel pampering, maybe just even to chill out. But doing the podcast, I know people can. Wine. Oh, I do love a glass of wine. Actually, where was it?
Merlot.
I'm going off tangent here again, but
really,
I know. But it was one evening there. Evening like this. It was evening like this. Yeah.
Tell
you
us
seen
story.
Last week?
Bring the story forward.
Last week, if you haven't, so go and watch our podcast last week.
Not right now because we're live, but you know.
So after this, like people like doing like watch us and I or listen to us now player, but not whenever any of our colleagues or whatever. But anyway, got tangent again now. But so I was outside in the back garden chilling out, and it was an evening like this, and literally just poured a glass of wine, and I was going to do something, or I think I was going to go on the laptop and do things, and I thought, you know what? No, I just went outside. I just put the feet up and had the glass of wine outside, and literally just stared at the clouds. Just took that time, and actually went and then did work on the laptop, and I was just in the zone. As such, in the zone.
I taking time. We say this a lot, and especially on this podcast, like taking time out for yourself is important. You can't.
Would you schedule time for yourself?
I schedule. I used to, whenever I first created my own job and I started to work, I used to book myself for an hour to an hour and a half every week, once a week, like an appointment. And I would sit down and treat myself like a client. And I would ask myself, what have I done this week? What am I going to do? What do I want to achieve in general? What's my goals, my plans? And structure it that way so that I was more productive at the start whenever I started getting into all of this. And then that just developed into like every day I do something specifically for myself, even if that is just standing out in my garden.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll bring my mace out and make it look like I'm doing exercise, but really I'm just
standing there.
Back to last week thinking I'm a barbarian going, I would have been deadly. I think I would have been deadly back in like the 15th century. Someone's going to correct my history. I think I would have been deadly with all that like battlefield war and all running about battle action.
But you just don't stand there yet. You have to put action in there.
No. Just imagine it. That's what they tell you. Imagine it is half the battle. So, like it's a metaphor for a reason.
Okay, if you say so, then. If you say so. But yeah, I suppose we're getting back to the car journey and driving home. I think that's. We also said too, you know, don't be afraid to sit in silence, you know, because you can build up that trust. If you're that parent that the kids, they're coming into the car and they know they're going to get it from one of their parents or whoever's collecting them, an adult, about X, Y, and Z. But literally, if they come in and they don't want to talk and you don't talk, then slowly and surely that's going to build up every week. And then if you actually stop saying anything, eventually, hopefully someday, they will open up. Or after a while you can just say, look, I'm here to talk about this anytime. Or whenever you get home, you can bring it up. So, but in that car journey, that kid just might be so intrinsic and just have everything held in and just needs that time to do it. Here comes our Ryan.
Go on, Ryan.
We're going to call her. You're going to come over here, Ryan. Come on over here, Ryan.
Come and join us.
Come on over.
My dinner's ready.
Oh, the dinner's ready. Can't see him. Ryan's running past. Didn't want to come in.
If his missus is watching, he just lied and said dinner's ready.
Yeah.
So get his dinner ready because he's like literally.
Clara, get the dinner
home.
on.
I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't know it.
Okay. So
Then once you said it, I was like, oh, I know who his missus is like.
Oh yes, that's right.
She's a journalist as well.
Yeah, she's so social. Look them up too.
So social journalistics.
Yeah, she doesn't do journalism. Oh, she used to. Yeah,
She
she
was
used
a
to
journalist.
do.
In that paper you write for the Ulster Herald, where he has a article that he.
You're probably in the Herald more than me, so you are.
I think because Mark puts him in it.
Anyway.
So anyway, what we talk. I think. What you were saying there about being quiet. I think that all parents should initiate the conversation, but initiate with like a sentence, like, "Gary, just so you know, I'm here to chat about this if you want," and then leave it. And if they want, they can chat. And even if that takes a couple of weeks, if you saying that, eventually they might open up. But if you push at them and keep at them to chat about what happened, you could say something as simple as, "Did you do well? Did you feel you did well?"
Yeah.
Or "I felt you did well. What do you think?" Something like that. Again, just to make better use of the journey. I can't believe he wouldn't join us.
I know.
We should have just him down.
We're taking the things with us. But yeah, no, that's it. It because we're not saying this that every parent is doing this in pure badness, and because it's that simple thing. It's the way that you word it. You know, even something simple as whenever the kid comes in, what was the score of the day?
Yeah.
You know, that could be the worst question to ask. Now you're pure genuine. You want to know. You don't really care win, lose or draw. You don't care. But to them, you know, if they got beat, that could be the hardest thing for them to say. They put all this energy in it, and they might not be able to get over and do it. Like, so that's the big thing with that, is wording your question, and as you say, just ask them, look, I'm here to talk. Funny, we talked about too, whenever I collect Josh from school, I started doing it. I asked him one question. I was like, what did you feel at this week?
Yeah.
For a long time. And at the very start, he's like, huh? He's like,
Nothing.
what? What do you mean, feel? He's like, well, what did you feel at this week? And again, it just started a conversation flowing, because I would always ask that question at the start. What did you learn this week? Oh, nothing. And like literally you would have had a probe in it. It was nearly like you were getting angry at him. It's like, just tell me. You know, he's like, I don't want to talk about it, blah. You're going, alright. So now it's like, flip it around. It's like, well, what did you feel at this week? What do you mean? Was
What
there
did you not
anything?
learn?
Yeah, was there anything that you thought? And then, because some of the conversations we've had, it goes, oh, well, there was one time we were in the playground and I couldn't chase the guys because we were going around this way, but instead I went round the corner and the other way. I was like, well, good man, you thought about it. Or if it is something in the school, says, oh, the teacher says that I was finding it difficult to do this, but turned around, I actually did it a different way. And, you know, it just sparks, rather than asking that question, what did you learn? I don't know. It's just a different approach, different way of using your words.
Changing the way that the kids are thinking and giving you an idea of how your child thinks. Like, one of the worst things I hated about school, apart from like all of it, was in maths. I was good at math, and the teacher then would come and go, that's the right answer, but show me how you got there. And you're like, I don't know.
Calculator?
No, but even before that, like, you'd be like, I don't know, I did this and this, and then that was the answer. And they're like, no, you're working out wrong. But I got to the right. So everyone doesn't have to go the same route. So asking the same question in different ways might get a different response from different people. And again, I know we've talked a lot about kids, but it doesn't necessarily have to be based on children. Like, it could be adults, parents.
A lot of people
anyone
driving
that
past here and they're going to be kind of looking
Hi
at it
there.
going,
didn't even wave. Manners cost nothing, folks.
just
We
wave.
wave.
If you see us about, we're very approachable, just wave.
Or even better, join us. That would
Join
be,
us, Ryan Maven. Can't believe that.
Yeah, I'm disgusted. But it also made me think that, how long have we been doing this? If we ran the whole loop,
Oh, aye. House 28.
we need to round up. So I need to go and teach some people some Tai Chi.
And I can go get some dinner.
Chi.
Drink
Go to
some
Ryan.
wine.
Go to Maven's
Go
house.
to River's I think. But yeah, so that's it. We didn't even get to kind of talk about this beautiful place.
I know, but
David. It's like-
whenever we walk away, people will get to look
yeah,
at look how majestic it is.
I know. How long did it take you to get up here?
15 minutes. And that was
Yeah.
me. I had lost my keys and had to find them.
10 minutes, like for me. You know, not even. Like 10 minutes maybe to drive up to here, and then you can go walk around and just chill out. Just go and do it, guys. Go and see.
Do a live
go
podcast.
Go
from
somewhere
it.
else. Yeah.
Hopefully, the 4G is good. It seems like there's.
Well,
been a
hopefully it
4G.
is.
Yeah, hopefully it's still on.
Hopefully somebody join us. We need to work out too. We can see people who are joining us. So
I think I'll bring
do
a
that.
laptop.
Yeah.
A laptop.
Hold it in hand.
Right, sir.
We done?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're done, guys. So yeah. Look, I suppose the whole thing about it pretty important kind of thing. I know we'll just touch on this briefly
Sounds- this
because
is
we
gonna be
mentioned.
deep.
No, we mentioned about
And
it is
deep.
mental
on your
health,
seats,
mental
folks.
health awareness week. So we touched on this a lot, and we had this discussion and saying it's fantastic that this is highlighted, but it's something that we work on or talk about every day, and something we should be talking about every day, either to yourself or with
People
somebody
or
else.
somebody, yeah.
Yeah, we both have our own journeys on it. I think of a perfect example there. Even last Saturday, I was struggling a bit during the week just with work and everything, and I could just feel my triggers kind of coming. And I took an extra 15-20 minutes and just wrote down and rewrote my goals.
Yeah.
And literally that day, I just felt this
It
lift.
doesn't have to be a massive journey. Like, if I am struggling with a project that I'm doing, I'll go and just stand in the shower.
Yeah.
And in my head I visualize the water washing all the shit away. So I visualize the water being black, and until it turns white, I just stand there. And the only way it'll turn white is if my head relaxes and the thought patterns change, and then so I'm washing away all the shit, and then I come out and finish the project because I'm more clear-headed and stuff. So it doesn't have to be anything spectacularly, amazingly massive. You can just
Yeah.
anything,
But I guess I think we just needed to touch on that too, because it's important, and it's great to actually see people posting and a bit of awareness. But our message would be, Do it every day. You know, if you're going to do it every day. Get out there, and you don't have to do it in social media. Do it face to face. Talk to somebody. Ask the question.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you okay? And I say mean it. Will be message from me anyway on that matter, and I think you would echo
No,
that too.
I agree. Yeah.
Very good. So
Wholeheartedly.
yeah, just to be touching that. But guys, we're going to shoot off now because Liam has to take a class. What are you taking again?
Tai Chi.
Do it.
That's
Tai Chi.
slower.
Oh, it's slower, is it? Tai Chi.
So we'll leave you with like 4 seconds of this beautiful scenery as we work out how to turn everything off. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, let us know.
Bye.